Laetare Ierusalem et convétum fácite omnes qui
This week we have reached the halfway point in the season of Lent, and the fourth Sunday of Lent is traditionally known as Laetare Sunday, and it is known as Laetare Sunday because of the Introit, the traditional Introit text, which goes back about 1,500 years, traditionally on this Sunday, is taken from the book of Isaiah. This in itself is somewhat significant. You might remember that I said last week that we had done 2 introits consecutively on the second and third Sundays of Lent from Psalm 24. On the first Sunday, we took a text from Psalm 90. And in fact, one very interesting thing about the texts for Lent in the Mass, as well as certain places in the office, is that the Church prefers to use the Psalms for the texts rather than other texts, places in the Scriptures. Whereas, for example, during the season of Advent, the introits were taken almost entirely from the book of Isaiah, as well as St. Paul's letter to the Philippians. In Lent, we have several ways in which we focus on the Psalms themselves. So we break from that for a brief time on the fourth Sunday of Lent. And this gives us a kind of break from fasting from the rest of the Scriptures, as it were, and gives us a little more strength to keep going for the second half of Lent. I would like for you to hear us sing just the first phrase again. Laetare Ierusalem et convétum fácite, omnes qui dilígitis eam. This means, rejoice Jerusalem, and be glad all you who love her.
Laetare Ierusalem et convétum fácite, omnes qui
This introit is in mode 5. Mode 5 ends on the note Fa, where we just ended, which is here in this particular setting. It is a major sounding mode because there is a major third, 2 notes above the final note, which is Fa. What is interesting about this introit in terms of the mode is that we go back and forth quite frequently between the notes T, or B natural, say if we were using C major scale, and B flat, or Te. So we open up with Laetare. This is the note te, or also B flat, depending on how you want to think about it. But in the very next line, et convétum, we have that half step below do, which we call T in chant notation, or chant parlance. It's different than the B flat. We switch back to the B flat on quae dilígitis. We dilígitis. And it makes for some interesting sounds. But this is the only accidental that shows up in chant notation. We can put a flat on this note T and make it into a te. Another place where there's a quick switch, see if you can find it. We're going to sing quae in tristítia fuístis. You who were in sadness, we're asking you to rejoice as well. We're just going to sing this half a phrase here. So that final cadence, we went down from te to la. But right before that we sang fuístis. This is fairly difficult, actually, to tune these well. And it's interesting that there are so many switches back and forth. We're painting this idea of you who are sad, rejoice. You who love Jerusalem, be glad, even though this is written by the prophet Isaiah at a time when Jerusalem had just been destroyed. So, in the midst of the difficulties of Lent, this switch between these notes reminds us that even as we encounter some discomfort from fasting, maybe some discomfort from other practices, some inconveniences of extra prayer and so on, we do this because of the hope we have coming at Easter time. And with this in mind, we're just going to sing one more time through this Introit, since it's a nice long one, and we hope you have a very joyful Laetare Sunday.
Gaudéte.